Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, March 8th, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Finally, it's not raining this morning, so that means I can get out for my walk right after I upload this. But Saturday, that looks a little bit grim. Oh well, we do have some news today, so we better get into it, shall we? In Annapolis, a 35-year-old man was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries after being stabbed in the chest on Wednesday evening. The incident occurred at Amberstone Court in the Annapolis Overlook community, and a 35-year-old Annapolis woman, identified as an acquaintance, was arrested and charged with reckless endangerment and first and second-degree assault. She was released on her own recognizance and does have a preliminary hearing on April 3rd. This bit of news caught my eye simply because of the name. In Maryland, chronic wasting disease, which is also known as, wait for it, zombie deer disease, has been confirmed in deer at 2 national parks. The National Park Service reported that during a recent deer reduction operation at Antietam and Monocacy National Battlefields, 3 deer tested positive for the disease. Now, apparently it's been present in Maryland since 2010, and chronic wasting disease affects various cervids, and that's a fancy word for mammals in the deer family, and yes, I did have to Google that, so you don't need to. It is transmitted through animal contact in contaminated environments. Symptoms include decreased social interaction and awareness. They appear within 18 to 24 months of infection. No treatments or vaccines exist for the disease, which is not known to infect humans. That's a good thing, or other livestock. Visitors to national parks are advised to avoid contact with sick or dead wildlife and refrain from consuming meat from infected animals, and that seems very logical to me. If you are looking for some things to do this weekend, we do have you covered, but for any outdoor Saturday events, double check before packing up that family truckster. We've got Live Arts Maryland back on stage, and they're going to feature Joyful Song, which is a tribute to Rosemary Clooney, a musical homage to the late singer. The Annapolis Running Festival on Saturday offers various races, a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, with a portion of the proceeds benefiting a bunch of local organizations. The Eastport Democratic Club's green beer races are at the EDC at the crack of noon tomorrow. Navy Youth Hockey Association's Hockey for Heroes, and the Annapolis Rotary's Black Tie and Diamonds Gala. I'll tell you, a great way to keep up on the events in the area is our other newsletter that goes out weekly at 12:30 p.m. on Fridays with all sorts of events. You want to be sure to catch our local business spotlight with Dr. Freedman and Evolve Direct and Primary, all about Ozempic and ketamine. Not together, of course, but very interesting. That's going to drop tomorrow at noon. And today on Canines and Crosstreks, we meet Jasper, a super friendly Maltese mix who is 3 years old and really looking for a fantastic new home. You want to listen to our spot now and then check back at eyeonannapolis.net at noon for our irresistible photos and get all of the information on how you can adopt him. And again, don't forget that we have that daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We do send it out to your email inbox at 7 p.m. every night. Yes, that's 366 days this year, all without a paywall. It's perfect for keeping up with the weekend's news since we don't release a DNB on Saturday or Sunday. And here is a link right here in the show notes for you. All right, that's it. Now it's time to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world. And if we do, please leave a review somewhere and tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. It is Friday, the weekend is here, and now it is time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, and keep shopping local. Other than that, we're going to see you on Monday. Now you want to hang tight because George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecasted weather report you're going to find. And, of course, Canines and Crosstreks, so do hang around for that. All that's coming your way in just a minute.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. MacMedics is an Apple-authorized service provider. MacMedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. MacMedics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit MacMedics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call MacMedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, March 8th. Pretty nice day yesterday for the Annapolis region, and today will be a good one too, ahead of a wet and breezy weekend. Ahead of some nice days then following next week, look for mostly sunny skies today, with highs in the 55 to 60 degree range, with clouds on the increase late in the day, ahead of the third rainmaker of the week tomorrow, with highs Saturday in the mid-50s or so as winds gust over 20 miles per hour at times, with mostly sunny skies expected Sunday as we return to daylight saving time at 2 a.m. with clocks moving ahead 1 hour, with breezy highs again Sunday in the low to mid-50s, with more of the same conditions expected Monday before temperatures then warm into the 60s with sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day and weekend out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for updates throughout each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Crosstreks, sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
Well, welcome to the swamp that is Canines and Crosstreks today. Man, it is yucky out there when we're recording this.
And I think it's going to keep on raining this week, too, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, it is. And none of the dogs want to go walk. Usually I pass like a dozen of them on my way in. And they're
oh, no.
Well, I don't think any of the humans want to walk them.
No. Yeah, it's a combination of that.
Well, we are back for Canines and Crosstreks. And today we are meeting. Who are we meeting?
We have Jasper here with us today. And Jasper is a Maltese mix. And
he's got a little terrier in him.
I think so, too, because he kind of has a little bit of a Yorkie face. I think, yeah. And he's kind of like a champagne color, so he's not our typical white fluffy dog. And he is 3 years old, very friendly, loves to walk on the trail, and he is housebroken, and he does really well here in his run and everything. So he was
real friendly when he walked in. I mean, he's jumping up on the leg like, "Hey, dude, how you doing? What's up? What's
super friendly." So we're looking for a great home for him. And as you saw, we did learn with Jimmy that he's cat curious, at least.
Yeah, and he's not afraid of him.
No,
Jimmy talks a little smack to everybody.
He does. So I don't know if that's a really fair cat test with Jimmy.
Yeah, he's a pretty cocky cat.
Yeah.
Well, how long has Jasper been here?
Jasper's only been here about 2 weeks now, so it hasn't been that long. Well, actually, that's long for him. But, you know, after getting him in and getting him vetted and everything, super friendly.
Good deal. Well, we need to get Jasper at home. And I'll tell you, I saw that the Baltimore triplets are still on the website.
They are. Yes,
And
they're
so
on the
are
website.
they've not left,
They've not left the building yet.
but they're just waiting to get their forever homes. They're
That's
pretty much
correct.
done.
Yeah,
I thought
absolutely.
we adopted them.
We thought so. They just had a little bit of a very minor medical puppy issue, and so we had to let them go through that.
And I did see that our buddy from last week, Romeo, is still around.
Romeo is
And,
still in foster.
You know, I'll make
yes.
another plea for this dog. This dog is a sweet dog. He's blind, but it's not stopping him. He just needs a great home. I mean, as far as he's loving, he's chill.
And he's just so great to have in the home, as the foster said. And he's a love bug. He just wants to get home. But like we said, we do think having other animals, or I should say dogs, in the house, or a cat. Maybe the cat could lead him around. Who knows? But
True.
Seeing
seeing
iCat.
cat.
Seeing iCat.
That's it.
Hey, you know, I was looking at Consumer Reports a couple weeks ago, Billy. We talked about the cars that people would buy again.
Yeah.
And Consumer Reports, probably scrapping for content, said, well, what cars would people not buy again?
Okay.
And do you know who didn't make the list?
Subaru.
Do you know who else didn't make the list?
Hyundai.
Yes, and do you know who else didn't make the list?
Volvo.
That's correct. Do you know who
Man.
did make the list?
All the other manufacturers that we don't represent.
Everyone but those three.
Everyone else.
It was funny. I mean, 75% of the Infiniti QX50s said they wouldn't do it. 62% of VW Taos, 61% of the Nissan Sentras, 58 of the Kia Sorentos, 56 of the Nissan Kicks, which I don't even know what that is. It sounds like a pair of sneakers.
Just a little guy.
Kia Seltos, which sounds like something you put in a bottle of Coke and make it fizz up or
Like a
something.
mint?
Like that. Mercedes C-Class, 54% said no way again. Kia Forte, VW Jetta, and the Nissan Altima. All were like, yeah, no, we won't buy them again.
Dang.
But no Subarus, no
course not.
Hyundais, and no Volvos.
Very-
That's the portfolio of Annapolis Cars.
Very
There
fortunate
you
to be
go.
representing all of those brands.
I also saw Kelly Blue Book did a comparison between the Forester and the Mitsubishi Outlander, I guess it is,
Okay.
which is a comparable car. Their bottom line was the Forester is a rugged, capable, off-road ready oot that's good on gas, keeps running, costs to a minimum, and holds up value over time. You're getting your money's worth. With 7 seats, the Outlander provides space and fuel economy numbers similar to its competitor, but at the end of the day, the Subaru is going to leave more money in your pocket thanks to its lower sticker price and ownership cost.
There you go. What a compelling reason to buy a Forester.
True.
I just so happen to have like 70 of them right now. So you just come let me
70
know.
for real? Are you?
And
you're
you're doing that crazy low
Got a
finance
lot
rate,
of Foresters. Yeah, we got
0.9?
1.9% financing on Foresters right now up to 48 months, 2.9 up to 72 months.
right? And you guys handle all sales and leasing too, right? I mean,
Yeah, leasing, absolutely. It's pay cash, finance, or lease. And the
what do
leasing.
most people do?
A lot of people finance. Most people finance.
So they're buying the car, not leasing them. For the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, but leasing is a good way to curb any sort of major market shifts down the road. So, the lease you're locked in for 3 years, but at the end of that lease, you have the opportunity to either
Keep
give
it,
the
walk
car
away,
back,
or-
buy the car for the predetermined residual amount, or in a lot of cases with Subarus, because they hold their value so well, our customers will trade them in, and the car will either be equal to or greater than what the residual is. And in that case, they might have some equity that they can roll into another lease. But it gives you options at the end of 3 years.
Equity in a car, man. You never hear about that. do you?
Yeah, I mean, well,
You mentioned, Kelly, that the puppies had a little bit of a medical issue.
Yes.
And I know Romeo, when we talked about him last week, he had all sorts of medical issues that he had to be. I mean, he had the obstruction in his gut and the surgery and everything else that was going on there. And I just want to tell everybody that make sure that if you can donate to the SPCA, every little bit helps because there's so much that we do. I mean, I remember 2 weeks ago out there just looking at the lineup for the vaccine clinic. And that's huge cost. I mean, but it doesn't come free. And even, $10, $25, $100,000, it all helps. And everything in between.
It sure does. And it helps keep us being able to help the community pets, and keeping that low cost because obviously we're not making much at all when we do the vaccine clinic. And we do pay staff to be here and obviously a veterinarian. And so there's costs obviously related to us having that vaccine clinic, but it's really important to us to be able to help the community pets. But we want to continue to do it.
Sure.
So the donations also go to making that happen.
Right. So, and also support the different events that are coming up. I mean, I know that we've got the Walk for the Animals coming up in May, and a little bit later we've got the Puppy Plunge, and we've got Sitting with the Bunny Rabbits at Paws at the Mall and everything else. And certainly I know Annapolis Subaru is jumping in on the Lights on the Bay again.
Yes.
At the end of the year. And,
Are we?
and well,
Yay.
you're down there at the Puppy Plunge, and you're also down there at the Walk for the Animals too.
Yeah.
Yes, they're incredibly supportive of what we do.
But if you've got a few extra bucks, I mean, it's tax time right now. If you get a little bit of a refund and you think you can, I'll tell you, don't donate to that whole presidential fund. Okay, give your $2 to the SPCA. You can go to spca.org.
Thank you.
Every little bit does help. So
Sure does.
That's my plea to the SPCA. And but it was funny. Like I said, I was on the website and was looking at the dogs that were still here, because I always like to do that and make sure the ones that talk to about adopted. So we got to get on the stick about Romeo.
We have to get them for Romeo, and then we also have Tizzy and Puppy, and they're a bonded pair.
Okay.
And they have been here for some time too. We have not featured them, and if they're here next week, we will.
Tizzy and Puppy?
Tizzy and Puppy. Yes.
Okay, I need to talk to you about whoever named this thing Puppy, because I did see that.
Very unique.
I mean, can we
very
get any
creative.
less creative on puppy names?
I believe that Tizzy is the mom.
Okay.
And Puppy is the male puppy
Is the
of
puppy.
Tizzy. So it kind of fits.
How old is Puppy?
Tizzy's 10 years old and Puppy's 7 years old.
Mom and dog.
I was going to say, you didn't really venture far.
No, not at all.
I was thinking, I had a conversation with my daughter up in New York over the week when we were making fun of actually the name Puppy. Mm-hmm. And we came up with a bunch of names. And we've decided that we want to be on the naming committee.
Okay, because Billy always
Okay, you want a bunch of them?
chimes in. Absolutely, we do.
Sir Wagalot, Bark Twain, Julius Caesar,
Wow.
Sherlock Bones,
Okay.
Paws Hilton, like Paris Hilton, Paws Hilton, Chewbacca, that's sort of probably been there. Woof Blitzer,
Nice.
Bark Obama, of course. You could go with bands. You can go like the Barkles with John Paul, Pawl,
Oh, that's
George and Ringo.
yeah.
So it'd also be good license plates, John, to segue off your
True.
last segment.
There we go.
True.
That's right.
Fleetwood
How
Bark.
many letters is that?
Fleetwood Bark with Stevie Licks, Mick Fleetwood, Lindsey Barkingham, and John McFlea.
Oh my God, that's really cute. You and your daughter thought of all these?
Yeah, we were going back and forth on this. It was. I think there may have been some alcohol
online.
I was
involved.
going to say, was
Yeah,
there
I was
alcohol
gonna say.
involved?
There may
What
have
time
been.
was this? What time was this?
John thinks clearer and is more
a game
creative.
we've got a Game of Thrones. We've got
That's
all
so
sorts of
fun.
things. Salvador Doggy.
You are officially
I
on the
think
naming committee now,
and
John.
his daughter should be on the naming committee.
They have proved themselves to be
Mark
very
Zuckerberg.
creative.
Although he's a bad name this week since Facebook all went down earlier this week and everybody lost their mind.
I was like, oh no, it finally happened. I was hacked.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone knows all your secrets now.
But yeah, so I got a whole bunch of names there that you can. Here, I'll throw it over
Thank
there.
you
They're
for
sort of-
sharing. That's awesome.
So are we still in kitten season?
We are not in kitten season right now.
It's
but
over?
With the no, it hasn't started yet.
But I feel like it was going on like a month ago. What is
Kitten
it, like a
season
month
and lights
break?
on the way to you, right? They're both things that you feel are just always happening.
Yeah. It's like we're always in kitten season.
No,
We're always
but
talking
what
about lights
is
on the
happening is tick season. Flea and
Tick
tick
season.
Tick season.
Yeah,
That's
flea and tick season.
terrible.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody out there knows that they have to start preparing for that as the months go on, and it's warmer months now. But the thing about the ticks is you really have to take that seriously because it can obviously cause diseases like Lyme disease and everything else. So what we do recommend is that you regularly check your pet when you come in from outside for the ticks. And the ticks usually prefer to attach like close to the head, the neck, ears, and feet, but obviously they can be found anywhere on the body. It's recommended that you regularly mow your lawn, which you should anyway, and also remove any of the tall weeds or tall grasses because they can kind of hide in there. And ticks are so small when they first are starting to attach to a dog, it can be the size of a pinhead. So unfortunately,
And then they're
kind
get
of hard,
gross, big, and gray.
until they start like sucking that blood. They're pretty tiny, so it's hard to see them. So that's why it's important to actually treat your dog so they don't attach. And cat, so then they actually don't attach and start
And then
being
you've
the
got
vampire
you've
they
got
are.
the drops that can go onto
Yeah,
the neck.
there's-
You can obviously the flea and tick collars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just using the flea and tick prevention is what's so important. And we just obviously recommend that you consult with your veterinarian on what's best for your dog and your cat.
Are there like treatments you can get to prevent ticks?
Yes. So you want to make sure that you put the treatment on before the weather, turns warm. So that way they aren't like hopping on, because obviously the fleas do the exact same thing. Is as soon as it starts to get warm, and they're wingless. Little fleas are insects, and they can jump up to 2 feet high. So if they're on the ground and your dog's outside, or obviously you have it in your house and stuff, it's really weird. And they live for as few as 13 days or as long as 12 months during their entire lifespan, which is kind of weird that they could be on there. Exactly. So if your dog or cat, they're scratching excessively, or you start seeing them, you lose hair, then you definitely need to get to your vet and start doing some flea and tick prevention.
What's the best way to get rid of when you find a tick? What's the best way to get rid of it?
Well, there's like a whole way. I mean, a lot of people say to go online and check it out, because if you just go, there are tick removers that you can buy, and that will obviously remove the entire thing. So we have them at Paws at the Mall, and they have them at PetSmart and Petco and everywhere. But you definitely want to be able to remove, even if they're on yourself, you want to remove everything, because if you don't remove the head, that it can also cause an infection, or they just continue to dig in.
Like a boil or something.
And then you light them on fire.
Well, yeah, you could do that if you would like.
Right?
Well, yeah.
How else do you kill it?
Well, a lot of people just flush them down the toilet.
My mother used to do a glass full of isopropyl alcohol.
Oh, well, yeah.
And would drop them in, which was really kind of gross in the grand scheme of things. Not so much more gross than burning them.
So don't light them on fire?
Well, I'm sure you can, but I don't think you have to go through all that. You can just kind of flush them and that.
Okay, all right. Can they swim? Can they survive?
Unless the Chesapeake Bay just got mad at me.
Does a tick survive a toilet flush? Like,
I don't think so, because they will drown.
They will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have lungs.
I did not do my research.
Do you know the anatomy of a tick?
I haven't done that. Can we talk about that
I'm
part
going to Google
next
it.
week?
If you
Because I
flush
think
a
it's
tick
important.
down the toilet, will it survive?
I am going to say, though, they have stressed this, that it's important not to use the products on your cat, the flea and tick products on your cat that are intended for dogs, because it's two totally different things. And some people just treat both animals with the same thing. You cannot do that.
All right. Ticks don't drown easily, but they don't swim either, making flushing them down the toilet a perfectly safe means of disposal.
Oh, there you go.
It's on the internet, so you know it's true.
Look at that, man. We've solved that problem.
But don't miss. You could also use bleach.
See, your mom was right, John. Alcohol, bleach.
Rubbing alcohol.
She was right there doing the right thing.
Nothing here says lighting it on fire, but I still think that's a good idea.
Now, I remember, a lot of people do think that's the way to actually get rid of them. But
another good tick repellent are possums.
Okay.
Do we have any possums for Paws at the Mall?
They can kill up to 95% of the ticks that try to feed on them. It's like if a tick goes after a possum, they're going to kill, 95% of them.
That seems like the perfect animal. That seems like the perfect pet.
Yeah.
Perfect. Especially in the warm months when it's flea and tick season. Man. There you go.
So if you want rabbits or possums, Paws at the Mall.
There you go. Now we're going to have people coming to Paws at the Mall saying, "Can I see the possums?" Thank you, John. You can greet all those wonderful customers asking for possums.
Oh, my word. Well, 1.9% for foresters?
Yep. Yeah. Come on down.
149 Old Solomon's Island Road, AnnapolisSubaru.com. Lots of foresters. As Kelly Blue Book said, they topped the competition. I will say that there were no Subarus involved in that list of the cars that people would not buy again.
Yeah. I have a stat for you, John.
Yeah.
The Subaru Outback average insurance premium for the year is the lowest of any car you can buy right now on the market.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've got the station wagon, so you've got the whole, safe, the whole mom carpool
super
kind of
safe,
thing there. You've got the technology
reliable.
that's in there, reliable, and they're probably fairly cheap to fix. I mean, in
on average, nationwide, cheapest premium for insurance, Subaru Outback.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Insurance has gotten a little crazy.
There are a lot of Outbacks everywhere around
You know,
here.
you told us a long time ago that part of the reason that insurance was going up is that when there was the supply chain issues, and they found that if you had an accident, that instead of renting a car for 2 weeks while the body shop or the dealership fixed it, it turned into 3, 6, 9 a year.
Yeah, the parts.
And the insurance companies were going, and you had told, I've told so many people that, and they're going, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's just, you know, it's crazy.
Yep.
If you need to adopt an animal, and Romeo needs a home, and certainly Jasper needs a home, the Baltimore
Puppy and Tizzy.
who we're going to talk to next week, right?
Yes. Well, hopefully they'll be home by then.
Hopefully
We'll
they'll
see.
be gone.
Yes.
You want to go to aacspca.org to find out all of the wonderful animals. You want to make sure that you check out those 3 dates for Paws at the Mall, where you can have your photo with the bunny.
That's right. We have March 23rd from 1 to 4, March 27th, 4 to 6:30, and March 30th, 1 to 4.
And those are real Easter bunnies.
And the spaces, the appointments.
The real ones.
Do you feel? Yeah, these are real, but
Not the big fake one.
no.
Well, we will be there for that on one of those days for sure. I guess we'll see you guys next week with hopefully, or hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
Puppy
hopefully a dog that we've never met before.
That's right. See you then. Thanks.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.